your host. And then Bill will do next Wednesday night, and we'll go from there. But it should be a good time. But yes, I believe next week I will have Funny Bus tickets for you for next Wednesday night. But funnybus.net is going to have all the information there for you. We got a Poundcake sports break coming up later on as well, a little closer to 5:30. Is the Guardians game over? Is that still going on?
And they lost 5-0, yeah.
5-0. Courtesy of the Detroit Tigers.
Yep.
So that's the end of that series. Tigers take 2 of 3. Guardians will be off tomorrow, and then they're still at home. They're playing the Angels. I guess it is the L.A. Angels. I still think of them as Anaheim. Technically, I think they're
LA
the Los
Angels
Angeles
of Anaheim.
Angels of Anaheim. But back in the day, they were the Anaheim Angels. So Guardians Angels, Friday night, 7:10. Here on WMMS, your FM home for Cleveland Guardians baseball. You cannot go a single day anymore without reading an article, either pro or con, about artificial intelligence, about AI. And while we're struggling to kind of not only keep up with what that means, because there are various forms of it, we're kind of struggling to keep up. This kind of technology advances far beyond what even the people who create it can envision. Anybody that tells you they know what AI is going to do, even really, really smart people, are just making it up because nobody knows. These things can do computations and arrive at conclusions that the people who develop the technology don't even know how they got there. So when there are these conversations being had about, well, we need to do this and this so that it doesn't do this, they kind of go, well, we don't even know how it got there. We don't know how it got from A to B. And so obviously, at the very least, it's going to upend a whole lot of parts of society. Some ways good, probably most ways bad, but that's true of any technology. So for now, we're left to just kind of enjoy the entertainment value of it, I guess. I was reading about a girl over on Snapchat. She's 23, got a hell of a lot of followers, and she's already making a lot of money because she has created an AI version of herself that will be your girlfriend for $1 a minute. And she's making about $76,000 a month.
That's insane.
She's real cute. Her name's Karen Marjorie, and she's 23. She has 1.8 million followers on Snapchat. I keep forgetting Snapchat is still a thing, but it is. And she teamed up with some developers, and she had about 2,000 hours of her YouTube content. You know, when Roger Ebert was still alive, the film critic, they took kind of an early version of something like this and replicated his voice so that he had a Stephen Hawking type machine that would speak for him, but it sounded like him. It wasn't the, hey, hello, my name is, that classic Stephen Hawking voice. Roger Ebert, he had like throat cancer or something, and so later part of his life, he couldn't speak because they had removed a big part of his jaw, and so he couldn't speak. But they had developed this voice box for him that sounded like him. And what that was is they took all of the hours of him talking on television and any other form of hearing him speak, and they synthesized that into words that would sound like him. So this girl has done this visually, where they've taken thousands of hours of her YouTube stuff and created a virtual girlfriend. That's what she calls it. You want the girlfriend experience, this is what it is. So then you have people reading an article like this, and half of you will go, God, that's sad. And then the other half will go, well, my brain always goes to whatever stops dudes from killing other people, because that's kind of where we are right now, is whatever keeps angry, horny dudes from taking their anger and horniness out with violence is a good thing. I don't know. So they're calling it Karen AI. This is a voice-based chatbot that she calls a virtual girlfriend, and that people pay $1 a minute to have a relationship with her. And she says she has more than 1,000 boyfriends right now. On average, spending 10 minutes a day. And so in the first month of this, she made $76,000. Her partners are 99% male. Shocker.
Yep.
And that was on the beta test. It's not even like fully rolled out yet. This is just kind of the test run. Hey, let's see if there's guys out there who'd want to pay $1. And so they are. So let's say you're in between. You're a hetero guy or a gay woman, because she's lovely. And or wherever you are in the spectrum, right? She might be your type. And you got $1 a minute. Even just to try it out as a goof. I'm sure there were some people that went into this going, this is going to be. But boy, they can, as this AI advances very, very quickly in a variety of ways. You know, you'll read these articles about how, like, in 10 years, more people will be banging robots than anybody else. More people will be banging robots than anybody can possibly fathom. Because more and more people, you know, as you make life seemingly more dangerous, fewer and fewer people are going to want to go out into the world. And so I guess this is what is going to count for some people as human interaction. So they're beta testing this, and she's already made about $76,000, and then they're going to launch it out to her millions of followers. And Karen AI will always be there for you, she says. We have limitless reactions. This doesn't sound like a sex thing, though. It sounds like, you know, you talk to anybody that does sex work, whether they're on the phone or whether they're cam or anything like that, and they'll tell you that their biggest nights of the year are holidays where people are just lonely. They don't necessarily want them to put things in themselves. Friends of mine over the years have done this stuff. They're like, Christmas week, I'm booked. And it's just dudes who want to talk. They just want to talk because they're lonely. Sure, once in a while, you know, they'll request, shoot some ping pong balls across the room. But for the most part, it's a lot of companionship.
It's Christmas after all.
And so this girl sees having an AI doppelganger as a good way to level up her career.
I mean,
she's an influencer.
Way for someone
it's very smart.
Like her to make money. I would love to be able to do this just for relationships that I have in life. Mm-hmm. Like my kids just deal with AI dad.
AI Bill. Yeah. Well, I would imagine that an AI version of any of us would be smarter, possibly funnier. I mean, it's absolutely smarter. First of all, not a high bar for somebody like me. I'm not that bright. An AI that has access to all this information, be immediately smarter. Hey, Dad, what should I do? Meep, morp, meep.
Meep, morp, meep.
Meep, morp, meep. Yeah, do that. Meep, morp, meep.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Mm-hmm. I've been very close with my audience, she says, and when you have hundreds of millions of views every month, again, I don't even know what this girl does. She's just posting stuff on Snapchat.
And she had a popular YouTube channel for a while.
Yeah, that's where they got all of the, that's where they got all the data and the info to synthesize this voice, face. And she says that it has the potential to cure loneliness. Now, loneliness is just a function of the human condition. You're not going to cure loneliness, but you might be able to temporarily mitigate it. That would be nice. I was reading a thing that said that medically, loneliness is just as toxic for you as smoking, whereas one can damage you physically. Cheaper. Probably cheaper.
Smoking's expensive.
But that loneliness is very, very, it's mind and body. And if you're, it can really affect your health if you're in a bad way, that way. So she's the first romantic companion avatar from this company that up till now has just done like chatbot versions of other people. So some to look into, if you're not prone to looking at something like this and ha-haing over it, maybe you could benefit from an AI girlfriend. But there's no shortage of articles on what, I was reading, somebody sent me an article on AI-proof jobs. Because the big question is, AI is going to upend so many parts of the employment sector, so many jobs, if left unattended. And again, there's no future in which a company will voluntarily go, you know what, AI might not be good, so we're going to ease off the throttle. The more people they can fire from whatever their company is, they'll be happy to do it. And so it was like, well, AI is going to take, they're like making the point that there are kids in college studying for jobs that won't be there in a few years, which puts them in a really tough spot. Jobs that require large bits of kind of human interaction, or, people aren't going to want necessarily a robot doctor. They're going to want to talk to a person to some degree. Ironically,
some people, but I think there's going to be some people that would prefer a robot doctor.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think those are people who like go for checkups. You know what I mean? Just kind of go for like here and there. If you have a serious condition, you're at the hospital all the time. I don't know. Jobs that require a lot of mobility and dexterity and problem solving in unpredictable environments. And this is the irony of AI, is that, a long time ago, what killed industrial and blue-collar jobs was automation or getting shipped overseas. That's what decimated, production and industrial jobs in this country. With AI, those jobs are more likely to be safe because you're not going to have an AI plumber. You're not going to have an AI welder. I mean, you might have a machine that does stuff, but you still need, it's way more likely that white-collar jobs are going to be the ones that are going to get knocked out with AI. There's already, I've talked about this a couple of weeks ago, there's already a company that has not this one, but another company that has a giant boner for AI DJs. Because DJs, in their purest form, don't have to do much. They tell you what song you heard, they crack wise, in between or try to. And so they're like, oh, well, we're just seeing what we got. Because every company will dip their toe in and go, let's see what we got.
See what we can get away with.
That's right. So, there's an AI. They're starting to run AI at the Wendy's drive-thru. So let's say you're working at a Wendy's and you don't want to work drive-thru anymore. You might be in luck. They're going to start using an AI chatbot to take drive-thru orders. Now, here's where you try to trip up the AI. Ask them if they can get breakfast anytime.
You say.
Ask them if you can get breakfast anytime.
And then the AI chatbot's going to say, no! Breakfast hours only!
Does not compute. Need to check. They will start using AI chatbots to take drive-thru orders. It will officially launch in Columbus, Ohio. That's where their main thing is going to be.
Yeah. Well, that's where the headquarters is.
They're headquartered in Columbus?
Yeah, that's where it was founded.
All right. But the chatbot has to understand all the ways that somebody might order. So if you are one of those people that uses shorthand because you order so frequently, if you pull through and you go, hey, give me a JBC. Are they going to know what that? You know what that is?
Oh, Junior Bacon Cheeseburger.
Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Is
classic.
the AI going to know that?
Probably.
If I pull
Wendy's
through,
isn't going to do something where they're half-assed. Wendy's does things
yeah, I know.
whole-assed.
Whole-assed. Yeah. If I pull through and I say small seasoned curlies. Small seasoned curlies.
They're going to say, you're at the wrong place. We don't have curlies.
Oh. Well, then I'll know. That's one smart robot.
They have small seasoned potatoes during breakfast hours only. But that's about all. And they have fries, but they don't have curly fries.
Wendy's executive Todd Penegor said that the chatbot will be very conversational and indistinguishable from a regular employee. Do you know what insulting that is? If you are an employee, It's one thing to replace you with a robot, but then to say, you're not going to know this from one of our regular people. Now, we all know that we will because it's going to be kind of stilted and, but it'll get better and better and better. 80% of their orders are through the drive-thru. So it'll have a huge impact. But that means if you work there, more time for you back there in the kitchen. More time on the fries or whatever. And Wendy's fries are dynamite. And I'm not being paid to say that. It's just the truth. So imagine, I wonder what the error rate will be, because you know how frustrating it is when a person gets your order wrong. And not even a complicated order. I'm not a guy who does substitutions, because with every substitution, you increase the likelihood they're going to screw it up.
It's so true. Like, literally the other day, I'm not going to say where I went, but I went to go get some breakfast food. And I said, can I get, the fold over, the sausage fold over, but can you remove remove the egg and put bacon there instead? So 2 proteins. Couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. I think they ended up just getting pissed at me, and they laid like a strip of bacon over the fold over, there you go. Do what you want with it. Insert it yourself. And they did not take off the egg.
We had a rare screw up, at least in my own personal experience. It's pretty rare that Taco Bell will screw something up. Maybe that's not been your experience if you go there a lot. But we went on the way home from the ministry show on Friday night. I said, let's go through Taco Bell. Hadn't had it in quite some time.
So good.
And they were clearly understaffed because the line was long. It was taking forever. But you go, okay, that's fine. I mean, I think we've all kind of gotten used to that nature of whatever. If you got a head on your shoulders. And so we ordered nothing weird, nothing wild. Took a long time. Lady was nice at the window, so clearly we were understaffed or whatever. It's not like she was running back and forth. When we got home, everything was wrong. I was like, how could that be when it took so long? Because we sat at the window.
They probably just gave you the wrong bag.
No. It had our items, but not what we asked for on them. It was like they had taken...
you're doing substitutions.
No, not substitutions.
They're removals.
Nothing supreme, to get specific about it. Nothing supreme. That just requires 2 more ingredients than normal, right? And they're making those all the live long day, supreme items. Nothing. I was like, wow, that's wild. For as long as it took, because you figure, well, okay, they're back there making it. It's fine. I'll sit here. I got no place to be. I'm going home and house this stuff. But in my experience, that was pretty rare. Because you can't scream at the chatbot when you pull up. And the poor person at the window, I mean, eventually they'll get rid of the person at the window, too. They'll have a thing in the window that takes your card. I want it to be a
Terminator arm that just sticks it out there.
Yeah.
And it plays the Terminator music. Dun, 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 dun.
They'll take your card, or they'll have a thing where you scan a code and it pay. They'll eventually get rid of the person in the window there, too. But until that time, it's going to really suck to be the person at the window who gets screamed at when the chatbot gets the order wrong. Because that's going to be they're like, bro, that thing replaced me. What are you yelling at me for? It's already a thankless job. But that's what's coming. The AI girlfriends. They did say, though, that there's a program that's being tested that can find pancreatic cancer up to 3 years in advance, which is great news. Because pancreatic cancer is usually something that they don't find until it's too late. I don't know that they developed a test for it or what they did, but it's one of those cancers.
Yeah, it's a doozy.
That gets you. Like, they're usually like looking for something else and they discover you have pancreatic. It's what Jerry Springer just died from. And quickly. Because he's like, I didn't know I had it. And now I'm dead. Swayze died. Remember? Pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
Alex Trebek.
That was really quick, too.
Steve Jobs. They're all fat. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Aretha Franklin, Mrs. Garrett, whatever her name was. All pancreatic cancer. And so if there's some kind, I think the medical industry might benefit a lot from things like that. If this had only been developed years ago, we'd still have Jerry Springer. Patrick Swayze would still be making movies. You know my motto from way back. No Swayze, no Wazy. I want nothing to do with it. remake Roadhouse. Not on my watch. Trebek would still be hosting Jeopardy. Steve Jobs would still be pretending that iPhones were changing and awesome. I got a break here. I'll have those Buzzard Fest passes for you August 4th. We're going to go back out to Victory Sports Park and put on Buzzard Fest for you for the first time in a long time. So it's Bush and Incubus and Welshly Arms and Filter and Live and many more. So a couple of passes for you coming back.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free